How to do today, everyone? My name is Howdy, and welcome to day 6 of the 7 Days of Howdy series. In today's video, we are on a tier maker list. You might be wondering why. The answer is quite simple. I've been watching a lot of videos, mainly just Moist Critical, doing like his tier list things, and it kind of got me thinking about doing one, and I didn't really know which one to do until I found this one, and I thought this would be a perfect idea to both maybe get some ideas for some videos and also to just kind of share my opinion about some games. I'm not going to go over all of them. I'm just going to go over some of the games that I like and some of them I don't. You might notice that the Masterpieces tier has, first off, a lot of mobile games. And the reason being is because a lot of the games I owned during my childhood were on my phone. Minus, obviously, games like Pop Tropica, Fireboy and Water Girl, so on and so forth. All of these games overall, just amazing masterpieces. These were parts of my childhood in pieces. Minecraft, Terraria, obviously, this was like elementary, high school, through high school. This was more middle school, but great game. Hollow Knight, a fucking great game. I really loved it. It looked so cool and it was really fun to play. Star Wars, The Complete Saga, one of the first ever games I played, and a game I would love to maybe do as a video. Papers, Please. Understand why that's a great game. One of my favorite games. Potato Man, all that stuff. You know, just wonderful. And the rest of them here, you know, like Titanfall, still waiting on that third one, Gears of War, stuff like that. All of these games overall are just great games that were just so much fun to play at the time, and I still think would be really fun to play and come back to. And so yeah, overall, all of these games here are masterpieces in my opinion, obviously. Next up, we have amazing category, and these games are games that I don't think were masterpieces, but still were great fun games to play, either at the time or I think I play right now. Like, for example, Payday. I really loved playing the Payday games. Those were fun. Stardew Valley, I have it on my phone right now. Balloon Tower Defense 6. And basically, these three games here, I have on my phone right now. Kindergarten 2, a game I'd love to do as a video for a series and stuff, and I think that'd be really fun. Roblox is a game that actually kind of conflicts from this list here. This one is on the amazing instead of masterpieces for a reason. I'm just gonna briefly cut over. I'm one of those YouTuber. I'm one of those like people that played the game back in like 2014. So obviously, great time to cough. The way it is now is just a lot different from what it was once before, and I don't like it relatively, but that's just an old man talking. So yeah, overall, all really good games, and yeah, again, great games. Next up, we have really great games that I didn't think were outstanding or masterpieces, but still really good games overall, like Little Nightmares, Left 4 Dead 2, Piano Tiles. Don't know about that one, but we're gonna keep them here for right now. A lot of just great general games that were really fun to play. You know, and I've played a lot for certain ones. But the rest of them I played off and on for a while, and I think overall, all of these are pretty good. Next up, we're in pretty good, actually. And this is the category, I'm gonna actually kind of scroll down here for a second to explain these three here. These three are kind of all in the same because some of these games are games that I actually these are games that I haven't played. Some of them are like Surgeon Simulator, Amazing Frog, West of Loathing, and a couple other games up here and down here are games that I have yet to play. And these are all games that I really think would be both fun to play games, you know, like offline and online, because, you know, all of these games I've watched people play tons of times, and I just think it would be really fun to play. So if you see any of the games on this list and maybe you want to see one, let me know. I would gladly do it, honestly. I really would. But yeah, all of these games here are pretty much in the same category. All really good games. You know, Among Us, there's a reason behind that one. We'll save that for a different time. But yeah, all of these games here are just generally just great games that I've either played or have really want to play. And yeah, I had fun with these for a time, but some of these are the games where I didn't get into them that much, and I played them for a while, but ended up never finishing them. So yeah, one game that I think one game that I want to say just for to throw out is let's see which one. Amazing Frog. I have been wanting to play this game since I saw I think it was Vanos and Delirious play it a while back, and I have been waiting for this game to go on sale again. I don't know if it's on sale right now, but it generally would be like, I think it'd be fun to record. Maybe not by myself, but yeah, it's all good games. So now we're at the final 9, and this is going to be the one where I'm going to explain individually why I do not like these games in the categories that there are. We're going to start with Far Cry 5. Far Cry 5 is kind of like Days Gone, which I didn't really talk about, but a game that I really liked. And Far Cry 5 to me just felt like it, but down a step. I don't know if that's like a controversial opinion, but I didn't really like the Far Cry 5 game. I don't know if it's just Far Cry in general, because I played Far Cry 3 and I liked that one. Far Cry 5 though, I just couldn't get into. I don't know if it was just the gameplay or something like that, but I just didn't like it. And overall, it's a pretty bad game, but it's not as bad as the ones below it for reasons I'll explain. Angry Birds. Repetitiveness. Same for Flappy Bird. These two are just kind of... It's really about repetitiveness. And just to me, I don't really ever find these games, you know, interesting. You know, they were fun to play for a time, but once you like get into the later levels, it's just the same stuff, and there's nothing. To me, there was nothing ever like different, minus like the birds that you got, and I sucked at these games. So yeah, I also am being a little salty here, and more saltiness will go down as we go down. So yeah, Bejeweled 3 is a little bit of a weird one to put in this category, but I'm gonna keep it here for a reason. I've played Bejeweled, and I think it was one of those games that you got on like a Windows phone, a Windows computer. I just like was on there to begin with, and I just never liked this game. It was like the most boring game to play, but I played it from time to time and stuff, and it just no fun for me. All right, none, not a single bit. All right, which leads me into my talking Tom. This is not a game. Okay, this is not a game to me. It really isn't. There's no game to this. Like, I understand, you know, he's a classic character. I don't know. I don't think this guy is like it's not really a game. It's just like a game you play for like 5 minutes and then you never play again. That's how I feel about this. And, you know, it just sucks. Okay? That's all I'm gonna say about it. Rainbow Six Siege. This one I have a bit more of a reason for. Mine is just I don't like it. It's because I don't like some people who play it. More specifically, people who just kill you through walls, and you know, obviously the game is kind of played like that. But I'm being a salty bitch, so yeah, I'm gonna say that yeah, this is where it belongs. If if I was better at the game, it would go all the way up here. But since it doesn't, it's gonna stay right here. I'm joking. This game I've played a couple times and it was fun, but I just could not get into it, and it was just I didn't like the gameplay, and I didn't like how, you know, confusing it was to me sometimes. You know, maybe I'll play it again. You know, maybe we'll see if I can play it now that I'm a big boy, now that I'm an adult. And finally, we are on to the worst of the worst, the worst 3 games that I have the most hatred for, which is Star Wars Battlefront. I'm gonna try to keep these kind of short. This game is kind of repetitive. Like I said, I don't like games that are super schmooper repetitive. You know, and then that kind of is like, oh, but Death Road Canada is kind of repetitive. No, it's not. It's different almost every single time, most of the time. And it always feels like a new run, no matter what you do. But this game always feels like the exact same game. Some people in this game were absolutely unfun to play. I played it pretty much when it came out, so maybe it's a little different now, but I hated the way this game was played. It was unfun. And you know, it kind of ruined the point of the game, because I played Star Wars Battlefront on the PS2, and I loved that game. That game was so much fun to play. It felt like an actual, like, me playing Star Wars. This one just makes me feel like throwing my controller across the floor and breaking it with a hammer. But yeah, that's why it's in waste of code. Elder Scrolls Online is another one of those ones where repetitiveness and confusion really just don't work with me, because I don't know what the fuck to say about this other than I don't like it. You know, I love the Elder Scrolls games, but this is just unfun, boring, stupid shit. And there's nothing else I can say about it minus that. It's just a stupid game overall. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it. And finally, the worst game that I'm gonna, if there was another one, I would add another one. But Dragon City / Monster Legends. This is a mobile game, and I'm gonna give you my reason here for just a second. So, be sitting down for a second. These games are so pay to win now, it is not even funny. And I'm not trying to say like, oh, the games are awful, like they look so trash now. No, they look really cool. I think they look genuinely fun to play. Like if I was to like play them, you know, but I just, when I tried to play it again this year, it was so pay to win. They have like battle passes now and stuff, and that stuff just doesn't work with me. Like it really doesn't. It's just stupid in my opinion, you know? It's just such a dumb thing, and overall I just think it's just the worst of the worst for this category. And yeah, that's how we're gonna leave it, on a kind of sour note, me complaining about a game I spent money on. But yeah, that's really it for me. Again, if you see any of these games and you're like, oh my god, he would love this, or oh my god, this would be hilarious to watch him fuck up, let me know if you want to, and if not, that's okay. But yeah, this has been Pear Howdy for the 6th day of the 7 days of Howdy, saying, hope to see you again, and finally saying, later.